And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Lost Podcast of Titan, a father and son journey through the sci-fi series that unite our generations and our slowly growing horror from the realization that none of this was as good as we remembered, and maybe Gene Roddenberry's a hack who shouldn't be let anywhere near a TV studio. That somehow he had one good idea and he rode that idea so hard he inspired James Horner to do the same thing with French horns in the 80s.
Well,
I am
if
the
Gene
son,
Rod
and this is the father.
over here,
Yep.
and I think if Gene Roddenberry was to come near a television studio today, that would be a story in itself.
Well, that's true. But I mean,
The
the
living
more I
dead
look in,
entertainment executive. Go ahead.
the more I look into this, the more he's not good. He had one good idea, and that was it. And God bless him, he had one good idea, but he's not a genius by any stretch of the imagination.
His strength is in production rather than writing.
Well, who was in charge of season 2 production of Star Trek?
Well, he passed it off to his second in command.
So he abandoned what he should have been paying attention to.
No, he was always on top of the situation.
Really?
Yes. I mean, you don't
Are we
expect
sure
the
about
captain of an
this?
aircraft carrier to be spending
'Cause I
time
don't
on
feel
down in the
that
hangar deck,
season 2.
testing the air of the tires or something.
I don't. I think he thought he was like he had everything under control, and that he's going to make another series and have them all on TV at the same time, and like that's just it.
Like Doug Henning. Oh wait, I think I may have gotten the name. The guy who had came up with Beverly Hills, Green Acres, Petticoat Junction, and they were all running concurrently on television, and he was a happy little guy. And
Well, still, it's just he's not good. I think I think he's does not deserving of the accolades and the mysticism and that we place upon him.
well, see, as time goes on, like we always talk about Homer, the blind poet of ancient Greece.
Bullshit. He
Everyone just,
wasn't blind. He was
oozing
just faking it.
Well, I was going to
Motherfucker.
say, so back then in those days, you had Homer sitting on the side of the road reciting his poems, and occasionally someone would come up and start making nasty faces at him.
Listen. They made nasty faces because he was a liar. He wasn't blind. I gave him 2 drachmas, and then I flipped him a third, and he caught it. All right, he caught it on reflex. I caught him. No one else was there. I don't give a shit. Lying ass son of a. His poetry sucked. Okay, it's just it was the only thing at the time. So when what do you call historian literature researchers? Like people who study literature from the ancient times?
Uh,
Like I want to say historians, but it doesn't quite have the right
no, you
tone to
want
it.
someone who, no, it's ancient literature.
Okay, well I think there's supposed to be like a word, but anyway, whatever.
They're pro-
Like it's not that it was good; it was just the only thing that was at the that was survived. So
Okay.
it's the quantity. So if there's a major disaster, and we're several hundred years in the future, the great works that survive will be like 50 Shades of Grey
Oh,
and Harry Potter.
oh. Well, you remember in Star Trek 3, the third Star Trek movie,
Yeah.
where they, went back to, no, it may have been the fourth movie where they had to go back to ancient, for them, San Francisco to find the whales.
Yeah, that was for Voyage Home. Yeah.
For Yeah, and Kirk takes up the habit of cussing a lot, and Spock calls him out on it, and Kirk goes into, how it was the common thing back then if you studied the classic uh, literature of that period, and he, names off a lot of hack romance author novelist.
So I didn't pick up on that joke, but
Oh, believe me, I guess you had to be the older back then, but a lot of the adults in the audience, laughed when it caught that line.
no. But
Jacqueline Suzanne was one of the authors.
It's
mentioned.
like I feel like Gene Roddenberry is way overrated. I feel George Lucas is probably in that vein as well. Like the only reason why George Lucas has any credibility now is because at least he had some semblance of an artistic vision, whereas Disney just had zero idea what they were doing. So
But going along the track of television,
and Hack Riders, keep going. Go ahead.
well, not Hack Riders. This is a sort of a recommendation. Did you ever watch the TV series Cheers when it was on television?
On occasion, I haven't seen many episodes.
That was my way too. I mean, I understood they had some funny moments, but it's not really wasn't really my cup of tea. Well, I have to admit that now I wish I'd paid more attention to it, especially when Bebe Neuwirth arrived on the series and started playing the female psychologist Lilith Sternin. Did you ever see any of the episodes with her?
No, or if I did, I have no idea. Like when I say I only watched a few episodes, I mean in passing, flipping through the channels, when flipping through the channels was actually a thing.
Yes. But no, go to YouTube sometime and just, put in Cheers and then Lilith. And she was this female psychologist, started coming out as being very uptight, very anal, dressed like a Nazi female scientist, sort of, glasses, hair up in a bun, tight, masculine sort of outfit. But her character just sort of evolved while still in that general vein, and it was wonderful watching her. And apparently, my opinion is not alone, because she got Bebe Neuwirth got the Emmy for Best Outstanding Female Character a couple of times
on a comedy show. I mean, okay, I guess, sure. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't quite clued in, we really don't want to talk about the episode we're going to be watching today.
Well, for one thing, did you get around to watching an episode of Thunderbirds Are Go yet?
No, why would I?
Because I sat through an episode of Love, Death, and Sex, Love, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots, yes, and it was a fantastic episode.
But you're not going to reciprocate by watching an episode of Thunderbirds Are Go.
Well, we'll watch an episode of Thunderbirds Are Go. That was the idea.
No, that's the way it is.
We have to do content.
She is your treasure. She must have a husband. I must dance barefoot on her wedding day, and for your love to her lead apes in hell. I will go sit and weep until I can find occasion for revenge. I mean, I see how this is all going. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What the hell? No, we're going to be watching the episode of Thunderbirds Are Go together.
Okay.
I mean,
when I'm on my deathbed.
Oh, all right, fine.
You're gonna have a TV.
Fine. Next week, hold on. Where is this fucking thing streaming? Thunderbirds Are Go streaming.
I believe it's still streaming on
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, but there are a few episodes on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a. If I can Prime Video, here we go. Okay, so Thunderbirds Are Go, and
right there.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, but that's.
Are they still free?
It's all pay. Prime. Wait. Oh, here we go. IMDb
That's the original
TV subscription.
Thunderbirds.
Oh wait, which one are we watching? The old or the new version?
The new version, the CGI version.
CGI? Okay, all right. Included with your Prime membership. Okay. Season one. Do I have access? Yes. All right. So next episode we will watch Thunderbirds Argo parts 1 and 2.
Actually, if I could make a recommendation, or
Oh
did you
Lord.
really want to watch? Oh, goodness gracious! No, and actually, I want to say that I have been thinking about an episode to spring on you and our viewers, but it wasn't an episode. And Thunderbirds Argo was one of my choices, but I wanted something that would be easy for as many of our listeners as possible to access, and also I wanted something that I felt would guarantee comment from you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Which one?
But I still want it to be a surprise. Not a Thunderbirds Argo episode, a completely different series.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we can still watch Thunderbirds Argo later on. I'll put it on your bucket list. But
Okay, so we're not doing Thunderbirds Argo next episode.
right.
Okay, all right, all right. Listen, also, I have an episode here called Under Pressure. If we do not have the David Bowie song and Queen,
No, we don't.
then automatic trash episode right there. All right. Actually, hold on. I have to hold on. Do we still have at least the intro? 5, 10, 4,
Yes.
10, 3. All right, come on. Blah 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 blah. Oh wait, here we go. Hold on. Come on, give it to me. Yes. 4, 10, 3, 10, 2, boom, 1, boom. Okay, all right. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Back to Star Trek.
Back to Star Trek, Spock's brain. Okay, this is why we've been on a tangent all fucking morning. This is season 3. Now, I was shocked and surprised at how shit season 2 actually was.
Wow, are you in for a ride?
If I was producer, I would have canceled the fucking show at season 2 and had Gene Roddenberry marched out in Hollywood and shot. Because that is not how you do writing. That is not how you do sci-fi.
But suddenly they got all those letters from, hordes of college students, large groups of fans, and me when I was still in Austin, Texas. And they said, oh my gosh, this actually has fans. Fans with money. Except for me. Well, we got to keep this season going to another season. But the rot was already... Yeah, I thought I'd close the door. Truder, I will feed you when this is finished. You're not starving. Go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lost Podcast of Titan Cat, the Truder.
Mama will be back Saturday. She said so.
Lies and slander. Okay, but anyway, so go ahead and put us on pause and pull up Spock's Brain, Season 3, Episode 1 on your favorite physical media or streaming service, and just come back to us when you're ready. Welcome back, and we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Dun-dun!
Now, this episode does have one really good part, at least in my opinion, and we'll come up on it before the opening credits. So I'll let you know.
Before the opening credits. Okay, all right.
No, before the opening credits.
I know. It said before the opening credits. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Condition alert. Wait, what?
That's always been there.
Listen, and that little rising thing from the thing has only been in what episode of season 1?
No, the rising thing appeared in season 2.
Well,
but you didn't comment about the fact how we have Sulu back.
Well, I would hope so. He was gone for most of season 2. Like, holy shit.
Guys, it's a spaceship. Just deal with it.
Scotty's hair is weird. And, okay, so, pettiness aside, Shatner's wearing a girdle right now, right?
I think by now he is. He may be.
I can't tell. Like, if he is pulling it off. And I mean, season 3 can't be all bad. We have Tholian Webb coming up in a bit, so
Yeah.
what is this? A galaxy ship, or not a galaxy? A generation ship?
No. Okay. Pay attention.
Okay, all right.
That is, to me, my way of thinking, that is the prettiest transporter effect I've ever seen.
What?
Yeah.
You're easily impressed. Or
Well,
wait, or do you
compared to
mean,
all other,
or do you mean just in the original series?
well, overall, I haven't seen a more attractive transporter effect. Let me put it to you that
Also,
way.
how many races have the "I wear the wrist" thing that makes the noise and everyone falls down?
It must be a common technology.
Seriously. And I'm sorry, I didn't hear your answer. Is that just the original series, or in all of Star Trek? That is
In
the
all of
prettiest
Star
transport.
Trek, I have not found a more attractive transporter effect, in my opinion.
Are you making a joke like it's the hot woman
No, I am
coming out?
not making a joke.
Are you?
Although, no, I am not making a joke. Stop saying that.
But
All right, what is the
what is
better
a better
better
one?
transporter, more attractive transporter effect? I
Okay.
can't believe we're having this conversation.
Well, it's Spock's brain. Fuck it. So hold on, I gotta cough for a second. Hold on. Uh, I liked the angry nature of the Klingon transporter. Like
Well, yeah,
in the next generation, it's very blue light, gentle, goes down, goes up. But whereas the Klingons, it's like red light tearing you apart. Rawr, it's a battle. The Cardassians had like little orange fairy dust. I thought that was kind of cool. And I also liked how they had to keep that transporter effect after they took over the station. So on Deep Space Nine, when they had to beam out, it was the Cardassian transporter. But it also makes me wonder, like, what's the like? It's the same fundamental technology, but what makes the difference that makes it the effect different? If that makes any sense.
that's a good. No, and it does make sense, and because you turn on a light bulb, no matter what culture made it, it's the same thing.
It's a light, yeah.
Uh, so I don't know what there is about transporter technology that different races transporter systems produce different visual effects.
hmm I mean, I do know that the Romulans, instead of using dilithium, they use a
A
contained
quantum black
singularity.
hole, yeah.
Yeah, like, excuse me, what?
Jim, we have a medical emergency. Spock has joined the Shriners.
So Spock is just going
And
to hang out on the bench for the entire episode and occasionally do a voiceover.
and Scotty, why are you there? He only asked for the captain.
He's got to get in his screen time.
Oh, okay.
He probably was upset he didn't have as much screen time in season 2, and to come back, they said, "Yep, you get to show up. You are a pivotal part of the crew, etc., etc." But yeah, his hair is different.
Yeah.
Was there a large gap between season 2 or 3?
I don't know.
You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know the production dates, the air dates.
Right, let me go. He comes with roll of drum. Uh,
took Spock's brain.
Okay, I cannot find any reason for Doohan's change of hairstyle.
Hmm.
I have failed. I will go out in the parking lot and commit seppuku.
Is it seppuku or hirikiri? Like, what's the difference between the
Same
two?
thing. One was like a more formal name for the procedure.
Hmm.
I'll do what everyone else does. You go to the Amazon website.
But the people who took it out do know.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Arr.
Force it out in the traditional Kirk manner.
No.
What?
He's more angry now than feeling amorous.
Why are people walking in front of the screen? Stop walking in front of
I
the screen,
know.
god damn it.
I've never seen this happen before in an episode. So, hey, we need that screen, fellas.
That would have been a really horrible time
And
to
now,
actually have made a mistake tracking down the ion trail.
and apparently, this is the signal for Kirk to start pacing back and forth in front of the screen.
Someone wrote this and got paid. Harlan Ellison is going, what the actual fuck? They
Did he
could have
get
paid
paid-
me
did
and
he
had
get-
a
did he get-
decent episode.
I mean, did they pay this guy more than me?
Oh, that would really piss him off.
Let's see. Lee Cronin was the author of the episode.
Yep. What other
Let's
shit
see.
did he put
He
out?
wrote Miri. He wrote Operation Annihilate, Cat's Paw, and A Private Little War, and that got him an Emmy nomination.
Which one was Private Little Wars? Was that the one with the computer that decided the casualties?
No, Private Little. That's the one where the savages being given flintlocks by.
Oh,
Klingon.
Jesus Christ. No. Okay. Fuck him. So he did Operation Annihilate, and that was approaching good, reaching desperately
also-
for good.
He also did How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, for the animated series, which won the only Emmy award for the animated series.
Why are you upset with Chekhov? It's not Chekhov's fault that there's something weird going on.
Well, you're not going to jump down my throat again?
Seriously, like poor Chekhov. Fuck you. Just go, like, you have speed. Go, scan, and that's it.
And couldn't another alien race simply stopped by that star system?
Exactly.
Well, with a nice cheese sauce, it'd be pretty tasty. And you're wasting time standing there yelling at your crew.
Didn't go like Jesus. This isn't exactly. Also, wait. Why is Uhura not wearing the earpiece, but Chekhov is?
Okay, I have to look harder. Uhura was not wearing an earpiece?
No.
I think... Well, wait, Spock wore an earpiece.
Zoom.
And we're only beaming down 5 people. Here for having a backup force would have really helped.
Well, I mean, there's no civilization there.
Snort, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you checked that after we beamed down. Very good, Chekhov. I see you'll make an excellent science officer. Fuck that. Spacer's on kill. Oh, wait. Conscious?
He wants to ask him what did they do with Spock's brain.
Everyone be very, very quiet.
We're hunting rabbits.
Or Starfleet dipshits. At the very least, they have Kirk in charge and not Pike, who would have completely lost this battle. Despite, outgunning them. Despite knowing they were there. And what direction they're coming from.
Okay, memo to our audience. My son can hold a grudge.
Ah, yeah. Damn right I can hold a grudge. He threw the club.
Yes, he wanted them to join it.
Why not do the wide beam? We've seen that done before. That's a bad sign.
And I am Aragon, son of Arathorn.
Whoa. And suddenly another 1,000 slash fictions were born.
Another memo to the members of our audience. If any of you out there are looking for a literary agent, you might contact Jeremiah at lostpodcastoftitan at gmail.com. Generous rates.
Just bear in mind, I am rather brutal.
He's very brutal.
Wait, they're friends. They can't be friends and hold someone against their will.
It does happen, but yeah.
Damn, he was hauling ass. Holy shit. Wait a minute, you come from Russia. That's your only mixture.
Wow, that can't be right.
Behold, a cave. How do you know?
It's those Klingons again.
Oh, Lord, don't. God damn it. That was the stupidest fucking thing. The Klingons are these warlike race, and we're going to do subterfuge. We're going to slowly and sneakily give these people better and better weapons. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just come down with phasers and start firing. And I understand there's a treaty, but eh. Are you going to continue yelling at me, sir? Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, no.
Near for Christmas, your very own radio-controlled Spock.
The fuck? Really?
Now that I finally pried the control away from Nurse Chapel.
No. Oh, Lord. McCoy, what are you doing? Stop that.
It must have been a while since you've seen this episode.
It has, yes.
And some of them are thinking, well, if we can't get Spock's brain back, he can always get a job working in Cloud City for Lando Calrissian. Oh, har har.
Wait. They weren't expecting the door to close or for the elevator to start going down, and Chekhov is just, no reason to panic that the door just slammed closed.
I presume they took a scan to make sure those rocks weren't explosive when exposed to sudden heat.
Oh no, this is Chekhov, who only checked the atmosphere after they beamed down.
I've never heard of an ion reactor.
An ion reactor?
Yeah.
It's a very charged debate in the scientific community about whether it can work or not. There are many negative views on it, but there are a few positives that say it could work. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So the women are in charge.
Nice job with the accent.
No, you shot her. Okay, anyway. Wait, hold on. We have a portable truth detector right here that can tell whether someone's lying or not, but that wasn't
He's
brought up
doing
in
it the
Wolf.
same thing. No, he's doing it the same thing they did in Daredevil. It can, just by monitoring the changes in physical responses, it's a fairly decent lie detector.
But yeah, but then what was the issue with Wolf in the Fold? Where, Scotty said I didn't do it and it wasn't me and I have no idea what's going on. They would have been able to say, oh, well, he's telling the truth.
Would that have convinced the local representatives on the planet?
I would think so. They were aware of Starfleet and technology. Really.
Oh, we got the Spock streaming service now.
Huh. Oh, fuck you, Spock. All right, you know what? We're beaming up right now. Is everyone going to get a turn with the robot Spock? Ta-da! Oh, so Kirk is going to seduce the other girl into helping them. Okay. Am I wrong?
Yes, that's a matter of fact.
What? I still don't understand why they couldn't clean up all of the footage. Oh, such a horrible life. I have to move furniture. Oh no. Oh help. Stop. Don't feed me hand by hand with from beautiful oh no. Help. Help. Save me.
How brutal! I've seen that lamp in the background somewhere before.
I think he was in one of the Savage Planet episodes. Oh wait, I think this was parodied probably a lot to be honest. But it was
Probably, yeah.
fuck, what was it? Uh it was the show where like for sixth season he was trying to get with the girl Growing Pains? Was that it? No. Maybe?
Because I've never seen Growing Pains.
Oh crap. What was uh let's see. No, it's not Growing Pains. Ah, fuck.
Give me the description of the
It's
people in.
so it's a coming of age story. It deals with a young boy. It's in the 1950s, but the show was in the 1980s, I believe. Or no, wait, it was in the 60s or 70s maybe.
The
So it's
Wonder
kind of one of the
Years?
Wonder Years. That's it, Wonder Years. And it's in the dream where they he's like, you can't do this. Just we're men. Ta-da. We're men. You can't do this. Ah. But we want our Spock's brain back. And you will give us Spock's brain back.
Or at least some of those goodies.
Lanterns? Light bulbs? Jesus.
That's Marge Ducey, who's another one of those actresses who has popped up in a whole bunch of television series.
But has it ever been in a skirt that short?
I don't think so. I would have noticed. We don't need the whisper, they can hear us.
So why couldn't they use someone else's brain?
I was waiting for you to suggest an alternative just to see who you'd pick.
Well, I mean, we have the Mogs. Also, Leonard Nimoy is bored as hell.
He's getting paid. I could put up with that kind of boredom.
Da-da!
Is Uhura's hairstyle different?
Oh, hold on. I was actually kind of surprised that Sulu was giving the Star Captain's log the update.
No. Well, he's the only one of sufficient rank left on the ship.
There's Uhura.
True, but she's got a open those hailing frequencies.
Actually, doesn't she command the Enterprise sometime in season 3?
No, she will do it in the animated series.
Oh. Listen. I know they're big, but there's 3 of you, and one of you is a doctor. Should be able to do the nerve punch.
Boom, boom. Wait, did he just? I was talking, but did he just make a disparaging comment about women in control?
Yeah, but it's Scotty. He hates women. Remember?
Yeah.
It's very well
He murdered
established
a
that
couple.
he has a murderous rage against women. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Smack. Punch. There we go. I'm being distracted, sir. Just give me a few minutes.
Pain in the neck.
Oh, Spock, come on now.
You?
Oh, oh, screw you.
And Dr. McCoy said, okay, I vote we go back to the Enterprise.
Oh, there's a ticking clock for this, really? Having worked in the medical industry, there's no such thing as an exact moment.
Yeah, I find their use of a specific time limit kind of suspicious.
Listen, you could have left him on the Enterprise and beamed him
No.
down. Yes. And
Okay, when
beamed.
they found the knowledge, yeah. Okay, I
Yes.
see that.
It's like,
But then there would have been a transporter malfunction or some other piece of silliness.
have you tried taking them off? Sliding them
They
over your
can't remove
hips?
them. Well, over Shatner's hips?
Listen. Wait, why is okay? They don't know that Spock doesn't have his brain. I guess. Okay.
Well, wait, isn't there a red button in the middle of that belt?
Yeah. But it has to be the red button on the bracelet.
Oh, okay. Throw a tricorder at her. And no gain.
Is he going to
So
use
Kirk can
the?
crawl to the controller, and McCoy can't.
Well, he's Shatner.
I wonder how good he is at Final Fantasy.
Ka-chunk. That was. I mean, I guess that could have been the reason why they had to have Spock down there. Or they could have had, since it's just pain, they could have had Kirk go, I will have my friend back, and I'm fighting to the pain. And then Spock could say, your ability to function through pain is good for a human.
Well, now, okay, we just opened up a big can of worms. Where do they go for another controller?
So he's going to condemn a whole civilization to death. So that he has his brain back. Yeah.
Plus, it's a great conversation icebreaker at parties. A lot of the wall props, a great many of them, I believe, were used in What Are Little Girls Made Of? The cloning laboratory.
Damn, they still had that set and the parts?
They would fill, as they did, made props and stuff for the series, they would move them into storage for future use, just switched them around. You'll be seeing parts of Nomad later on, and of course, we've already seen how the M5 computer was recycled. They didn't notice a phaser was missing.
Well, I mean, if the girl's that close to you, generally my, attentions and mind are elsewhere.
Gasp.
Is that a phaser in your pocket? Well, I mean, no, actually.
They tell Kirk, remove your weapon. And Kirk will say, okay, but we're going to get nasty letters from the audience.
Oh, damn. Hello.
Whoa.
What the hell? Like, get someone else.
I'm asking myself if I would volunteer, and it's something of a coin toss.
Complete and utter devotion, but, I mean, what are they going to do?
Ask that at least they give me the Disney Channel as well.
Wouldn't you rather have good TV?
Well, it's the storehouse for the present for Marvel movies and TV series.
As I said.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, memo for myself. Future discussion episode Marvel movies.
To be fair,
versus
most of them
DC
are
movies.
good, so.
Well, you don't give a shit about it anyway. And what are you going to do about it? Or the universe? No.
Just stun her. What? That's actually kind
And,
of cool.
and the first thing McCoy hears is the opening theme to Sesame Street.
How does that work?
No, kind of opening for an education program.
Oh, there's a thought. Okay, maybe it's because of how the brains are wired. They could
Yeah.
spend thousands upon thousands of years of knowledge into the girl, and she processes it all in the few seconds it actually takes. But because of how the brains are wired for humans, for McCoy, it's actually he's actually spending thousands upon thousands of years being taught all this stuff.
I thought what you were going to say was he'd come out of the process and start acting like the girl.
Oh no. We'll just put Scotty in it.
Or beam down Nurse Chapel or Dr. Maboma.
There we go.
Well, freeze.
No, you won't. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? This is the glacier planet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear how when they were studying, our genealogies, that we were so close to extinction that we were down to a small group of, primates, whatever, about just a few dozen of us, somewhere in the, Tigris Euphrates area, I guess.
And then a
But
giant monolith appeared and
well, that's right, yeah.
no, but you were going to suggest something else and I interrupted you. I've been under the impression it was the development of tools that gave the hominids a leg up.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth a try. Insert block A into slot B.
Huh.
You mean Vulcan medical research did not consider such a possibility and has tattooed labels to each part of the brain?
That would be a little bit extreme.
No, okay, maybe, but I am sort of filing that away for possible future use somewhere.
What, tattooing the ganglionic nerves?
Yeah?
No.
You're sounding pretty good already. Some bitch! Not that one. Oh dear.
Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Left middle finger. Thump.
Thank you. You beat me to it. What would you give to be able to see on the other side of that barrier?
There's probably just a blue light bulb.
Plus, Spock will have that perpetual boner from now on, but
Why?
exactly.
Dun, 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 dun.
I really don't think it's all that hilarious.
Wait a
but I
minute.
guess,
Hold on. Oh, we're
What?
just warping out,
Yeah.
leaving the complex of women without a controller.
Well, I hate to sound repetitive,
Yes.
and please forgive me, but I imagine Starfleet will be sending along some assistants and
Oh,
such
Lord.
to. Have you been taking my brain scans while?
No, this is the audio. This is the Audacity.
Was that the amount of attention being? Okay, oh wait, you haven't put it out yet. So anyway, we might as well make some. Before we get too much personal here, we might as well make our farewells to the audience, and then
Well,
we
what
can
did
go
you
into
what did you
the-
think of Spock's brain?
Okay. I came to this episode remembering that it was crap. So, and even the remastered version
Is
has
also
not-
crap.
Yeah, you
But
can only do so.
they didn't. They
So you-
didn't have a solution for the women. And it appears that only what's her face was in charge, so only she was actually the responsible one for going and kidnapping the brain. So basically, Kirk just condemned an entire civilization to a slow, painful death, as he doesn't quite consider that maybe without a controller they can't do something like, oh, I don't know, open the elevator door or forge metal. And if that's the case, how are the primitives going to be, hunting food or doing whatever it is they need with the retrograde civilization is going to retrograde even further back now. And
Well,
they're just wandering off. We're not going to send in somebody else to come and, put on the teacher, or if we are
How do we know that's not what they did?
because there's no mention
do-
of it in any other series. Like, this is again an episode where we have vast, mind-blowing technology that should leapfrog the Federation hundreds, if not thousands, of years, and it is never mentioned again.
Okay, now I will admit that's a sore spot with me. For instance, in the first season episode, Errand of Mercy, we have the Organians setting up a treaty between the Federation and the Klingon. And that does not get mentioned anymore, except once briefly in the Trouble with Tribbles in the second season.
Right.
But yeah, there's no follow-up on things which should be followed up on.
Yeah.
We should be going back to Mud's planet. We should have met ships of the First Federation, including the Thesarius, where the human crew member who had been left with Baylock, and they go and compare notes and stuff like that.
Who's now addicted to Tranya.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, I would like to have encountered some mention of Tranya smugglers.
That would actually be kind of funny, to be honest.
Yeah, but if I could go back in time and have massive influence on Roddenberry's brain, I would have set up a position where someone keeps notes about each episode, and then at a certain time, and when an episode is being considered, lean in and say, we could add a line or two that references this, and create a more complex tapestry.
I think the cat's going to devour you.
I'll feed you in just a little bit. You are not starving. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a 1-ton cat here who thinks he is on death's door. I'd count your ribs, but I'd have to carve through all that fat. Go roll yourself to the kitchen, and I'll find you something to eat. Yeah, I do not lie to you.
Listen. I completely understand. My cat is the same way, which is why I have the door closed. Otherwise, he would plaintively put his paws up on the arm of my chair and give me the most pitiful, she is ignoring me and has not fed me look.
I forgot to close the door like I usually do.
Yeah. But, okay, so...
Next week is the Enterprise Incident, which is a much better episode.
It is?
I liked
pull
it.
that up. Hold on. Oh, let's go back to Star Trek. Enterprise Incident. On Kirk's orders, the Enterprise deliberately crosses the neutral zone into Romulan space and is promptly surrounded by Romulan warships. Okay, so we have Romulans, so...
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, hope y'all enjoyed the episode, ladies and gentlemen, and we will catch y'all next time.
Take care and behave.